Well, I hope you can hear me. I'm sitting out here on the balcony because the weather finally is not too awful. It's not horrible. It's 58 degrees out, Fahrenheit. It's still a little chilly. I mean, you stay out here, your nose and your ears are going to get cold. And I don't really like to be cold, but given the weather we've been having, it's about as good as you're going to get for a while, because usually the way it goes, it starts to warm up and then it gets cold again, and each time it warms up a little more. Anyway, it wasn't too bad out today, so I decided to go for a very short walk to see what was at the local Goodwill, because it's a great place to find cheap books and other things, and every once in a while you'll find something worth your attention. Well, I didn't intend to actually get anything. I just went there to get out of the house. But as luck would have it, I did find this. It's a Mexican cookbook. And I was very surprised to find this. This is fairly authentic, at least as far as I can tell. How authentic is it? Well, around page 35, I believe it was. I'll get there eventually. Yep, I just saw it. Tells you how to make tortillas from scratch. How authentic is this? Again, it tells you how to prepare the corn kernels to make the tortillas from scratch. So, when working with your tortillas, you see that? Dried maize. So you're not just starting it from flour, you're actually making the flour, which, if that's not from scratch enough for you, I don't know what is. But it's got all kinds of things in here. Well, that's poultry. Leg of lamb and pork. Green tomatillo sauce. I don't know if you've ever had authentic tomatillo sauce, but it is good stuff. And I don't usually like green tomatoes. I like my tomatoes ripe. I know a lot of people like fried green tomatoes. A lot of people in my family like fried green tomatoes. It's where we're from. I've always thought that they're better when they're ripe and juicy, but that's just me. Rice, vegetables, there's all kinds of stuff in here. And what's interesting is towards the front of the book, they actually talk about putting together menus, like what pairs with what, the different dishes you can arrange that will complement each other. So a lot of thought that went in there, because it's talking about getting your ingredients from scratch, and I do mean scratch. And then how you accent your dishes depending on what else you're making. And I'm really excited about this book. I know it doesn't look like much. It's not that big. But it seems pretty thorough. And I'm sure by the time that you're done with and you get good with what's in this book, if it's not in here, you should have an idea of how to make it. And it's exciting because I know a lot of you know I eat a lot of Mexican food. That's because Mexican food is Native American food. Word Mexico, it comes from Mexico, the Mexica tribe. A lot of people today know them, or at least a branch of them, as the Aztec, although they never called themselves that. They never even heard the term at the time, prior to colonization. That was a term that was coined later. Even though it does, obviously it is inspired by the language, so it's not like it's completely taken out of nowhere with no connection to the culture, but that's not how they referred to themselves. And I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, like so many other tribes that were named by colonists, I think that's a word that was actually from a neighboring tribe. For example, Cherokee, Chilagi, that's not even a Cherokee word, that's Muskogee Creek. And Mexica, Mexican food, you might be surprised, is similar to the woodland tribes of the United States. The difference being obviously cultivating what grows there. We don't have as many spices and stuff to work from as Mexican food is known for. But you go back in time to the mid-Mississippian period or the mid-woodland period, where we had trade routes stretching the whole continent, and the food was very similar because we imported and exported a lot of stuff to each other, and greatly influenced each other's cuisine. Obviously, some of the things we didn't have were avocados because they're not going to stay good. Well, that was kind of loud. We did not have the infrastructure to get them here before they went bad. They're a very tropical fruit. Another thing that we didn't have, obviously, is your fermented milk. Cactus milk. Fermented cactus milk. But cilantro was traded, as was other things that would keep long enough. So, I absolutely love Mexican food. Although I prefer to make my tacos with fry bread and not tortillas. But I do want to learn how to make a really good tortilla. You know, you get them really thin and you bake them. You don't fry them. And they're better for you than fry bread. Anyway, this video is going on 8 minutes, which is far too long, and I don't even know if it's going to come out, so I'm going to end it right about now.